Hello survivors and welcome to Survivor's Guild, part of the Mutant Fam Horror Consortium, a community of like-minded individuals working together to create content and build relationships by and for fans of the genre. Go check out mutantfam.com for all the podcasts, channels, and shops featured in the Mutant Fam. And special thanks to the Danish Painist for the brand new background music and TYTD for the brand new banner. Also, stay tuned to the end to find out how you can win a digital copy of Selfie Man. Today, we are looking at 2007's Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, written by Turi Meyer and Alfredo Septien, and directed by Joe Lynch, starring Erica Learson, Henry Rollins, Crystal Lowe, Kimberly Caldwell, Texas Battle, Alexa Palladino, and Steve Braun. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the rest of the Wrong Turn series and every other video after that. Now, I hope you like knowing the outcome of a reality TV show before it airs based solely on who survives the production, because this movie is getting spoiled. Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, is about an apocalyptic reality TV show cast that ends up getting picked off one by one by a gaggle of killbillies while attempting to compete against each other to be crowned the ultimate survivalist of the apocalypse. We open up on Greenbrier Back County, West Virginia, to Kimberly Caldwell tearing down the road while yelling at her agent Tommy for getting her put on a reality TV show as the token celebrity when she's faced with a fork in the road. Careful, Kimberly. We'd hate for you to make a wrong turn. I'm winking, but you can't tell on account of the fact that you're not looking at my eyes, pervert. Kimberly makes her decision and gets distracted when her call with Tommy gets dropped, and ends up hitting one of the killbillies hanging out in the middle of the road. So far, 2 out of 2 of these movies start with an accident caused by a driver not looking at the road. Are these horror movies, or driver's ed instruction videos? Watch the road ahead so that you don't end up dead. Unfortunately, Kimberly doesn't follow the rules of a hit and run and decides not to run, but to check on the roadkill Billy, who proceeds to bite off her lips. And then Kimberly tries to get back in her car to commence the run part of a hit and run, and she runs into Three Finger, who uses an axe to cut her in half, hot dog style. Joke's on you, Three Fingers, she's not going to be any easier to fit in your fridge. You should have cut her hamburger style. And those two halves become one whole deposit in our meat bank. We cut over to retired Marine Colonel Dale Murphy in an ad for Ultimate Survivalist Apocalypse, which looks like a damn cool TV show. And we are introduced to the cast of the show, the late Kimberly, Jonesy, Elena, Nina, Jake, and Amber.
Welcome to the apocalypse.
We also get introduced to Michael, known as M, and his girlfriend Mara, and some of the techs as they get ready to start shooting the pilot episode of the show. But when Kimberly doesn't show up, because she's been turned into Humburger Helper, M convinces his girlfriend Mara to take her place in the pilot, and the crew sets out to start filming. They arrive at the set, and Colonel Dale Murphy explains how the show will work, including Twist of Fate survival challenges and eliminations.
But only one of you can be the ultimate survivalist after the apocalypse. And cut! Nice work, Dale! All right!
Each cast member has a camera on their ear, and there are cameras throughout the wilderness as well. Neil confiscates everyone's cell phones and goes to take them to the RV for safekeeping, but has to go on a detour and take a wicked piss mate.
I gotta go take a wicked piss, mate, now, man.
While Colonel Dale Murphy grabs the rest of the cameras from Mara that need to be put up and offers to do that himself. We then get to see the footage that the cameras are picking up, including Neil taking a wicked piss mate right in front of camera 9, only to have one of the killbillies turn up and slit his throat, scalp him, and drag him off camera. Dude, that was a wicked piss mate, landing Neil as the second deposit in our meat bank. Cut over to Colonel Dale Murphy, who is working on setting up cameras when he gets knocked out by someone. After a brief game of catch, that is. Damn, nice catch, Killbilly. Now throw it back. Oh, never mind. You can keep it. We then catch up with Jonesy and Amber while Jonesy makes jokes that only he and I think are funny. Who am I kidding? Just he. And we learn that they have been hiking for over 3 hours. And despite Jonesy's attempts, Amber is not into dudes. Hell, if I was around Jonesy, I'd be a lesbian too. We then jump over to Jake and Elena, who are getting personal with M, who is trying to spur romantic feelings between the two, probably for ratings. Cut back over to Mara and Nina, when Mara steps on and activates one of the Twist of Fate survival challenges.
Haven't seen anything to eat.
and is pretend infected with anthrax and must reel run to the river for a pretend antidote. But she falls into the river trying to get it, but makes her way out unscathed, showing herself to be the perfect final girl material. Cut back over to Jake, Elena, and matchmaker M when Elena tries to seduce Jake, but he's not having it. But M is, and she trades that for his promise to make her famous. But Mara sees this and falls apart, knowing that the dude she loves is a piece of sexual infidelity. Let's see here. Ordinary girl? Check. Intelligent and resourceful? Check. Takes challenges head on? Check. Faced with some sort of ultra-personal problem? Check. Alright, your transformation into final girl is almost complete. Back over with Amber and Jonesy, the two of them come across a barbecue and decide to steal the feast and take it to the others to win favor with them. We then flash over to Colonel Dale Murphy, who is playing a game of Don't Let Your Mouth Blood Go Into Your Nose, when Three Fingers starts a game of Avoid My Knife. But Dale is awesome at that game, until he is not. Cut back over to Mara and Nina, who have found a house in the woods to go into. I know, that's always my first impulse when I see a house, is to go into it. But instead of finding a phone, they find the miracle of life when the incest family Robinson enters the house and gives birth. Unfortunately, when Mara and Nina are blown away by the infant mutant Ninja Turtle, the character simply known as Sister notices their shock and lets out a shriek of her own, which leads Mara and Nina to make a break for it and leave the house as fast as they can. Mara, our final girl, then uses her head to catch a flying axe, landing our final girl as our third deposit in the meat bank. Wait a second, that's not where final girls go. Nina then takes on the role of final girl and hides from Pa until his family shows up in the family truck sporting a sweet new hood ornament to pick him up. Cut back over to M and Elena, who just got done doing something when M, feeling all adulterous and stuff, leaves the scene, leaving Elena to catch some rays and some blades when Sister cuts her up for turning on her brother, landing Elena as our fourth deposit in the meat bank, before brother and sister start making out over the corpse. Hey, love is love. Cut over to Colonel Dale Murphy, who is still bleeding into his nose while watching Three Finger dig Neil's body ramen out of his abdomen, before Pa and Ma return showing Three Finger their cool new hood ornament. They drop off Mara and head back out while Three Finger heads over to Colonel Dale Murphy to retrieve his body ramen when Colonel Dale Murphy hits Three Finger in his fourth finger and grabs his knife and cuts himself down. And unfortunately for Three Finger, Colonel Dale Murphy brought his fists to a knife fight. And then brought a shotgun to a knife fight. Cut over to M in the productions truck, who is keeping an eye on the cameras until Pa and Ma commandeer the vehicle. Pa then uses an arrow to pin M to the truck, just in time for us to cut over to Jonesy, Jake, and Amber, who are definitely eating human barbecue right now, when Nina shows up and lets them know that Mara got killed. Amber and Jake believe her, but Jonesy doesn't because post-apocalyptic crazies were supposed to be part of the game, until he notices the infinity tattoo on the meat they've been eating, which means they've been eating Kimberly Caldwell. The Fab Four take two and then head to the production van. Cut over to Colonel Murphy, our new final girl, who is keeping an eye on the Hillbilly Hell House LLC, where he sees an old man cleaning up the mess Ma made when she gave birth.
You so much as fart, old man, and I'll drop you.
The Fab Four take two find out the hard way the production van is missing, and find out the easy way that the Killbillies are using traps to catch humans and eat them.
Hey, don't hurt me! That's a bear trap.
So they head off to find the abandoned paper mill. Cut back over to our final girl, who is sewing up his wounds and talking to the nice old man he threatened earlier. The nice old man explains to Colonel Murphy how incest works, before finally giving away that he is one of them.
Gotta stay close to my youngins.
And Colonel Dale Murphy then ends him in probably the most hilarious way by lighting a stick of dynamite and sticking it down his shirt, making the old guy the fifth deposit in our meat bank, in a whole bunch of installments. The Fab Four take two walking through the forest, walk in on brother making romance with his sister, who is wearing her new Elena skin suit. Nina takes off while the remaining three fight the two contorted kin, but ends up falling into a trap. And then the other three get the chance to take off as well. Jake finds the hole Nina is in and attempts to help her out of it. After he gets her out, they continue heading to the paper mill, but are cornered by Killbilly's sister and forced to jump off a cliff to avoid her shooting them. Cut back over to Amber and Jonesy, who are running away from Pa when Jonesy gets caught in one of their traps. And when Amber tries to get him down, she gets snagged as well. just in time for Pa to teach brother how to use a bow and arrow. And while father and son bond, Jonesy and Amber land as number 6 and 7 in our meat bank. Nina and Jake make their way to the paper mill, while Colonel Dale Murphy plays survivalist in the forest. Nina and Jake find a skeleton of a girl in a locker of some kind, and you better believe I'm counting it. And even cooler than the skeleton, they find out that the abandoned paper mill is where the Killbillies have been keeping all the confiscated stuff from all the people they've killed. They find the production van and can hear M screaming from inside, but it wrong turns out that that's just a recording of M screaming, because M is in a different castle. And while Jake is busy being baffled, Nina gets nabbed by sister and brother, but Jake doesn't notice because he's too busy watching M make the number 9 spot in our meat bank. Before also getting caught by the Killbillies. Later that night, Nina wakes up in a cage sitting next to number 10 in our meat bank deposits, while Jake hangs from the ceiling and Ma prepares dinner. M. And our final girl lurks around, looking for a way to close out the movie. The Killbilly family sits down for a nice family dinner and asks the Lord to bless their meal, which is awkward for Nina because she's a Satanist, and also rude.
I hope you Joe!
And also a vegan, so she chooses to abstain from the meal because this human is not vegan or appetizing. Unfortunately, as our final girl is on the prowl, he sets off a stolen survival challenge, alerting the family of Killbillies to his presence. And while brother and sister search for him, Colonel Dale Murphy takes his opportunity to shoot brother in the back with an arrow loaded with a stick of dynamite. And while brother dances around in pain, sister tries to get the sparkly arrow out of his back, which lands brother and sister as numbers 11 and 12 in our Colonel Dale Murphy just took out 2 mutants with 1 exploding arrow. That's almost impressive.
Hoorah.
And while Ma and Pa continue searching for our final girl, Colonel Dale Murphy shows up to help Nina and Jake escape. But while in the process of releasing Jake, our final girl gets shot with a couple of arrows by Pa. And then Ma throws a razor wire bolus around him and gets him around the neck, killing our final girl in the most fantastic way, making Colonel Dale Murphy the 13th deposit in our meat bank. Nina makes her way out of the paper mill, while Jake tries to find Nina, and Ma and Pa try to find them. Jake runs into what Ma was using as a meat grinder, and Ma turns it on intending for Pa to grind the meat. Nina runs into the room and knocks Ma out and jumps on Pa. Wait, could Nina be the final girl? Nah. This frees up Jake to knock Pa into the meat grinder. And when Ma goes to help him, Nina flips the switch, which drops a log into Ma and Pa, sending them both into our meat bank at numbers 14 and 15. Nina and our final girl, Jake, then confiscate Kimberly Caldwell's rental vehicle and make their escape. We then cut over to the somehow not dead Three Finger, who is feeding Infant Mutant Ninja Turtle a severed finger. That baby is definitely not ready for solids, and the movie ends. So now, to find out, what are your chances of suffering survivor's guilt? This is where we take a look at our main characters and the death that surrounds them to find out what your chances are of surviving this movie. Starting off strong with Kimberly Caldwell getting split down the middle at number 1, followed by Neil who gets his throat cut while taking a wicked pissmate at number 2, assumed final girl Mara at number 3, Elena at number 4, and old patriarch of the family explosively coming in at number 5, Jonesy and Amber taking a single arrow to their heads at number 6 and 7, the locker skeleton at number 8, M at number 9, the cage skeleton at number 10, no shame, brother and sister at numbers 11 and 12, our second assumed final girl, Colonel Dale Murphy at number 13, and wrapping up our meat bank deposits at number 14 and 15 are Ma and Pa, our prolific progenitors of anthropophagi. Now let's take a look at our survivors. We've got our final girl, Jake, survivalist/Satanist Nina, and Three Finger Jr., giving us a total of 19 characters and only 4 survive, which means you have a 21.1% chance of surviving this movie. Given those odds, how would this family of Killbillies turn you into their next meal? Let me know in the comments below. And if this is your first time on my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and let me know what you thought. Alright, now to find out how you can win a digital copy of Selfie Man. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and do that first. That's how you become one of my survivors. and then share this video on one of your social medias. But you have to leave a comment letting me know what social media you shared it on in the comment section below. Also, unfortunately, this drawing is only for those who live in the US. It sucks, but the codes are usually region specific, so I can only count US participants. Sorry about that, guys. Alright guys, as always, thanks, and don't die.
This one's gonna be a hard one. No pun intended.
And down the catwalk every day, and maybe someday we'll go all the way.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. A sequel was all but inevitable, really.
Welcome back, video. Welcome back, video. Welcome back. Welcome back, video creeps. What up, guys?
What up? Welcome to my channel, Video Creep. Make sure you hit subscribe